Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of September 22nd. We have a pretty big week. It starts off with the equinox on September 23rd, which is also the start of Libra season. And the week ends by about the 28th. We have the Libra New Moon, which is a super new moon, and a super new moon means we always feel the power and effect of the moon in a stronger way. So, big entrance to the week, big exit to this week as we are almost, can't believe it, at the end of the month. So it's pretty crazy. Time is definitely moving quick as we kind of wrap up the year. So the September equinox, let's start there because that is how we enter into this week. The equinox is the time of equal night, equal day. No matter where you live in the world, we have this sort of equality of sunlight. It is also marked by the sun moving into the sign of Libra. So we are starting Libra season. We have been in earthy Virgo, which is all about sort of independence, organizing our schedules, getting organized, being sort of self-reflective. Virgo energy can be a little critical at times, but sometimes that criticalness of ourselves is necessary to figure out what we can do better or what we can work and improve on in our lives. So we're moving out of that energy into the sign of Libra, which is an air sign, and Libra energy is about relationships. It's about how we connect with others. It's our relationship with the world around us. It's also our relationship with our body, how we feel about our lives. It kind of governs all of that. So our focus is shifting sort of from our independence into our relationships and how we can continue to make healthy, strong bonds with the world around us and the people around us. So that is sort of the energy we'll be working with under Libra season. On the equinox, which is on the 23rd, the veil between this dimension and higher dimensions is thin. We also have this energy of change and transition. In the northern hemisphere, we are moving into autumn or fall. In the southern hemisphere, we are moving into the season of spring. So we are in that in-between stage, in between summer, in between winter. We're also halfway through the astrological year. So we're sort of at this sort of balance point. And we can use this balance point to also bring about change into our lives. It's interesting that this balance point is about bringing change into our lives. It's about helping us find our equilibrium by either letting things go or birthing new things, bringing things into our lives. The energy of manifestation is usually very high and strong around an equinox. So use this energy to think about what you want, to think about what you want to create, to maybe think about what you want to let go or be released of. It's a wonderful time to bring our attention there. With manifesting, we really have to, we ask, we put it out there, we stay open, we say thank you, and then we allow the universe to do its job. We have to trust in the divine timing of the universe and know that everything that needs to come our way will come our way. So we want to keep this in mind, but we definitely can also put our hands out and see what it is we want to bring in, create, and manifest for our highest good. So I have a ritual to help you with that. I'll put a link below. I recommend doing this ritual on the day of the equinox or either side of the equinox is fine too. So beautiful energy there for manifesting, for transition, for welcoming in change. You know, Mother Nature is always a wonderful guidepost for where we need to be. Spending time in nature, observing what she is doing, and then aligning our vibration with hers can also be very healing and restorative for us as well. And then we have the Libra New Moon at the end of the week. This new moon is a super moon, like I mentioned, so we are going to feel it pretty strong. It is bringing up some of the Saturn work that we have been doing. I mentioned and talked about Saturn moving direct last week. This new moon is going to amplify some of that energy, so it's helping us clear out some karma, some karmic cycles. It's bringing them to our attention. People have asked me, how do you clear a karmic cycle? Well, unfortunately, there is no three-step process, at least none that I am aware of. I have found from my own personal experience, however, that when you identify a karmic cycle and like a pattern that keeps repeating, when you identify it, I kind of feel like that's 90% of the work right there. And you know what? It doesn't mean that you're not going to fall into it again, but you get better at becoming aware of when you are doing it. And very soon you are able to become so aware that you can stop yourself before the cycle continues again. Breaking out of a karmic pattern requires awareness of what the pattern is, why you kind of keep getting into it, and also just allowing yourself to take the time you need to learn what it is that you need to learn from this cycle. This cycle is being repeated and shown to you because there's something you need to take away from it. There's something you need to learn from it. And you know what? Maybe it's a lifelong thing. Maybe your soul signed up to work with it for life. You don't know, right? Maybe it'll come in many different ways, in many different forms. It doesn't mean you are failing. It doesn't mean you are doing anything wrong. It is just the journey of your soul. We are all here to learn and grow, so these things are going to happen. It's not like, oh, I've done all my learning now, I'll just sit back and enjoy life. No, you enjoy life while you are learning and while you're moving through these cycles. So becoming aware of it, I think, is great, and changing it up or changing or doing a different action when you notice yourself falling into the same patterns, and then also just accepting and knowing that, hey, I am only human and this is part of what I wanted to learn, so hey, I'm just going to learn what I have to learn and stay open and ask the universe to keep guiding and supporting me and see where this leads me. So there's a little bit of that too around this new moon, those sort of karmic cycles with Saturn's work. It is also a healing new moon. There is opportunity for a lot of healing. And I think this healing comes through this Libra energy, which is about balance. Balance, usually with Libra, because it rules over Venus, and Venus is sort of the sign, the planet associated with relationships. Very often this balance is interpreted as looking after my needs and also being of service to others. How can I find balance between these two states? That is very active on this new moon, but there's a deeper sense of balance here as well. And that is this balance between human and soul. The human experience that we're here for. Our soul, in a sense, is already whole. It's already perfect. It's already healed. We all have this element of higher consciousness within us, but we are here to feel. We are here to feel the physical, to feel our soul in a physical shell. We want that physical experience, and that is why we are here. And we have to find balance between that. It's sort of like feeling our feet rooted on earth in this physical reality, in this physical dimension. But then our crown is connected to the heavens, and we're tuned into source. We're tuned into the energies around us. We're tuned into this loving higher vibration, and then sort of flowing and finding the middle point between these two states. That's what this new moon is also encouraging us to do under this Libra energy, and that is how we can kind of step into healing. So wherever you're at, thinking about honoring your body a little bit more, where your body is, or honoring your soul and remembering that you are a timeless being and that this experience is temporary. So feel into which one you need to sort of acknowledge a little bit more. Sometimes we're really good at acknowledging our soul and going, this is all temporary and I'm just I'm already whole, but you also have a body and you also have a human self that doesn't always feel whole and doesn't always feel aligned with light and love. And sometimes we have to acknowledge that as well. So acknowledging your body and this human experience and this humanness of making mistakes and not getting it right and having to repeat karmic cycles 100 times over, and balancing that with I am this wonderful, all-knowing soul that's part of the universe and is connected to everything and is love. And sort of operating in harmony, knowing those two elements of truth about the self. So I hope that was helpful. It is a big week. I recommend around the new moon time to just stay really hydrated, drink a lot of water, do some grounding exercises, stay in your meditation practice. There is high energy around this, and whenever we have a high energy full moon or new moon, it can make us feel a little bit depleted. But essentially, a great week for manifestation, a great week to think about what you want to bring into your life or remove from your life, especially as we wrap up the calendar year. It's also a great time to find balance, to sort of look at our relationships, and if a relationship issue does come up around this new moon, working out on how you can get a sense of balance or a sense of healing, whether that's setting boundaries or cutting ties or finding a new way to approach things. So there is a little bit going on. I will post links below about the new moon, about the equinox, so you can read up more about that. But I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay in your center, find whatever balance means for you, and enjoy these wonderful Libran energies that we have this week. Thank you so much.